Namaste YouTube, welcome to Cafe Roma.
We're going to give our first time single take honest reaction to a Patreon request. It's a big name. I have heard this name in the past many a time. I may have heard a couple of songs of his too. MCGRAW is about to be reacted to on Cafe Roma, and it's a privilege because he's a big name in the music industry. And this is for our Patreon or patron James, and the song is called Don't Take the Girl. So, what do you think that is about, Kirti?
Don't take the girl. Don't take the girl. The way it is written, don't take the girl, as if a father is saying not to take his daughter into, by enemies or whatever.
Yeah, that's what I
It's
sense
not about
too.
a girlfriend or a wife.
It's either a husband, either a father who's saying, don't take the girl, or a teacher, in a classroom who's saying, because it's don't take the girl, not don't take my daughter. So don't take the girl. It could be a teacher, it could be something like that. So it's interesting. Either way, the title is interesting. It definitely will be something that we can react to. So let's dig in. Let's get started with our reaction to this one. Pay attention to the voice. I'm sure you love it.
Oh.
MCGRAW.
Johnny's daddy was taking him fishing when he was 8 years old. A little girl came through the front gate holding a fishing pole. His dad looked down and smiled, said, "We can't leave her behind. Son, I know you don't want her to go, but someday you'll change your mind." And Johnny said, "Take Jimmy Johnson, take Tommy Thompson, take my best friend Bo, take anybody that you want, as long as she don't go. Take any boy in the world. Daddy, please don't take the girl." Same old boy, same sweet girl, 10 years down the road. He held her tight and kissed her lips in front of the picture show. Stranger came and pulled a gun, grabbed her by the arm, said, "If you do what I tell you to, there won't be any harm." And Johnny said, "Take my money, take my wallet, take my credit cards. Here's a watch that my grandpa gave me. Here's a key to my car. Mister, give it a whirl. But please don't take the girl."
Love this. What a story.
Same old boy, same sweet girl, 5 years down the road. There's gonna be a little one, and she says it's time to go. Doctor says the baby's fine, but you'll have to leave, 'cause his mama's fading fast. And Johnny hit his knees, and there he prayed, "Take the very breath you gave me, take the heart from my chest. I'll gladly take her place if you'll let me make this my last request. take me out of this world. God, please don't take the girl. Johnny's daddy was taking him fishing when he was 8 years old.
Oof. I wasn't expecting this.
I know.
Ah.
Kind of gets you a teary eye. Wow, but if you talk about how to write stories in a song, this would be a perfect example of one. Johnny and his girl.
Yeah, I love the way it starts. He doesn't want to have anything to do with her. She is dying to go fishing with them. She's dying to spend time with him. He's saying, take anyone, take my best friend Bo, take this guy, take that guy.
But not her.
But take anyone else in the town, but not her, basically. Then 10 years later, he's kissing her in front of a picture show. A guy comes up with a gun to their car and grabs his girl by the arm, and he's saying, take my wallet, take my cards, take anything you want, take my car, take my watch. Grandpa's watch, which must have been very expensive. Take everything I have basically right now. But please leave the girl. Don't take the girl. And then 5 years later, wow, that is something it's really actually quite thought provoking, because it was so common. At one point of time in our country too, in India, as well as in many other parts of the world, it was such a common thing that while delivering the baby, the mother would die. So it was sometimes it would be either the baby or the mother, sometimes both, sometimes one. As I said, what a song. You can't not feel emotional by the end of this one. You can't not get a few tears in your eyes.
Each time if you listen to it, you will choke.
Yeah, you'll choke for sure. What are your thoughts on it? I said what the story is all about. Once again, what are your thoughts? What did you feel?
First of all, you were right about the voice. You said watch out for the voice, and wow, when it started, I couldn't pay attention to anything else but the story that he was telling, his voice, and I could actually picturize what he was speaking about. I could picturize Johnny and his daddy and the girl standing by the fishing pole, and how Johnny would beg each time.
Standing with the fishing pole in her hand.
Yeah.
Next to the lake.
Yeah. Sorry. And wow, each time he did beg for her safety. He wanted to protect her right from the age of 8, and by the calculation they were 23 when she was expecting a baby, and at this time she didn't have much time. I like the way it was written and sung. He hit on the knees, Once you hear a devastating news and you just fall on your knees. I could just imagine all of it as if, this song with the lyrics, it had images coming. And Johnny again.
It was a beautiful song, the way it was sung, the way it was laid out, the simple music in the background to go along with it. It enhanced the voice, it enhanced the story, It added an incredible value to everything that transpired during this journey of 3 to 4 whatever minutes this song was. It wasn't a long song by any stretch of our imagination, but the story, wow, it just pulls you in. You actually feel every part of it. 3 verses, but you feel all of them. 3 verses, 3 and a quarter verse, because it ends with the very first lines or the very first verse, one part of it towards the end. Wow, don't take the girl. We could not have gotten this right in our wildest dreams. What it was all about. That's the beauty of reacting to music for the very first time. We do not know what to expect. And it shows. It clearly shows. Unlike, we just can't fake it like some people are so good at doing on this very platform. So, it's a privilege to react to music like this and to requests like this for our patrons and to give it some thought. Yeah, definitely if you're in that position, you will feel the same at times. We live in a world where it's not unreal, it's not far off, it's not way off either. This could happen to you, this could happen to me, this could happen to anybody. You're outside. We hear stories like that on the news. Practically every single week, we avoid the news in this particular home because, every time we switch on the news, it's pretty negative. And it does make us a bit stressful.
It's been 10 years or more that we stopped watching primetime news channels, and most news channels for that matter, apart from getting the headlines that we get online. We don't really watch much news unless we know there is an event going to be covered on the news channels.
Because this is quite common, it's quite relevant. These things happen all the time. And yes, if you put yourself in that person's shoes, we as counselors do that a lot in the counseling room. But it's different to do it in a counseling room when you're safe in your comfortable chair, leather chair, or sitting on a nice comfortable chair, either ways, and you're in an AC environment with the AC on or the fan on, the air conditioning or fan on. You're in a cool, comfortable, rested position. You can place yourself in the position of the client for that moment. But it's a different thing to do it in reality. If this actually had to happen to me or someone close to me, then yeah, you do understand the brilliance of the writing of this particular song. The way it is sung, the way it goes, the way it is written, every single line. It pieces itself so beautifully together till the very end. And why do you think they put that line that was in the beginning at the end? Any idea?
That's what I was thinking. That now that they were saying first 10 years down the line and then five further years down the line, then the first verse comes back to the
It ends with that, yeah.
So was it everything was imagination of Johnny? Johnny was daydreaming about everything?
No,
Or what
I'll
was
tell
that
you
about?
what, it's country music.
Okay.
It's country music at its best. How easy or difficult it is to remember 10 words in a row. We could try that right now. And that will demonstrate why it is done this way. As a songwriter, amateur songwriter that is, I have learned a lot about songwriting. For many, many years, I have written 250 odd songs. So I'll tell you why this is done very often, especially in country music, and why it's so memorable. I'll give you 10 words. You also can pay attention, Kirti.
Okay.
10 words in a row with a gap of 1 to 2 seconds between each word. Try and remember all 10 words that I said in exactly the order that I said it. Let's try this one, shall we? 10 words, listen to them, and then try and repeat it out aloud in the same order as you heard them being told to you. You can't go back to hear it once again. Let's try it. Cheetah, cobra, rose, wedding, tea, coffee, milk, panda, tiger, USA. Can you try repeating those 10 words that I said in the same order that I said it? Can you try, Kirti, just to demonstrate?
Yes. Cheetah, cobra, rose. After that, rose. Then there was tea, coffee, panda, milk, USA. But I am missing 2 or 3.
Don't bother. This is something that 1 out of maybe 100,000 people will get right. This is actually how tough it is. 1 out of 100,000. If we get 100,000 views for this particular video, 1 out of that will get it exactly right.
Without cheating.
Without cheating. In the same order as I said it, exactly right.
If I did condition my brain,
and doing it quickly. You can't take 10 hours. In fact, the more time you take, you'll find it gets more difficult to put it in the right order. So having done a lot of these classes for a long time in my life, I know this is how difficult it is. Having written songs, I know how difficult it is to remember my own words of the song. So what they found out in country music, and for that matter in golden era, music of the golden era, whether it's What a Wonderful World, whether it's Neil Young, Neil Diamond, you talk about Frank Sinatra, you talk about Elvis, you talk about all the greats of the past. They realize that if you repeat certain things Why do you think we have a
Little
chorus?
brain, yeah.
Why do you think we have a chorus in a
And
song?
those are the best songs.
Yeah, so, no, why do you think we have a chorus? Almost all songs have a chorus.
Yeah.
For the same reason that the human memory, the human mind cannot remember much, and it cannot remember much after some time. In fact, the more the time passes, it doesn't remember most of what they've heard. So that is why words are sometimes repeated, important lines are repeated in songs. It happens even in the movies. You know, there are flashbacks, there are again flashbacks. You think about it, because that is important for you to remember certain key parts or elements of the story very well. So that's about it for this one, I guess. Some value to the table in our reactions after we were done with the actual reaction. Hope it makes sense, but this is what was done so amazingly in Tim McGraw's song that we heard. He did it so beautifully, you hardly realized it. But trust me, every single person who comes to and watches this reaction or hears this song, they will know exactly what the story of this song is. And that has not happened naturally. It has happened scientifically because the people who wrote this knew exactly how they needed to write it to get into your mind forever. Goodbye.